In my marathon habit of reading the biographies, I have recently finished the biography of our late Honorable Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi. Very interesting. I will not talk about to you about his introduction into politics, becoming the Prime Minister, circumstances, or his political achievements and ultimately unfortunate death. I will talk about what struck me most. The author writes that Rajiv Gandhi was persuaded by Mr. N.D. Tiwari to seek blessings of Devraha Baba 3 days before the foundation stone of that so-called Ram Janambhumi Babri Masjid or a temple was to be laid in Ayodhya. Rajiv Gandhi received the Baba's blessing by having his forehead touched by the big toe of the holy man who perched on the tree. He was also quite famous as a tree top Baba. However, we all know and we do know. The author says that Rajiv Gandhi made no move to forbid the foundation stone laying ceremony. The author further goes on to state that the Home Minister then started the process of building the temple. You know, but this suggestion very wisely Mr. Rajiv Gandhi turned down. We know that apart from Mr. N.D. Tiwari, Mr. Balram Jhakar, Mr. Bhuta Singh, there were also great devotees of this tree top Baba. Their photographs showing them bowing reverently to have their head touched by the Baba's foot was published in many newspapers then. It's all available even in YouTube. You can search in Google. You will find it. It's significant, my friend, that despite the blessings of all the three of the tree top Baba, the so-called those days Devraha Baba, you see, all three of them lost at the polls that followed, and Rajiv Gandhi had to step down from his prime ministership. This kind of public display, my friend, of reverence for holy men is, I feel, is a post Pandit Nehru phenomena. As long as he was alive, even his dearest daughter Indira Gandhi did not dare to go paying homage to sadhus or praying in temples. She occasionally called on Anandamayi Ma, but always explained away her visits as something she did to keep up the friendship that has existed between her mother and Anandamayi Ma. But no sooner she becomes the Prime Minister of India, sadhus, swamis, brahmacharis, tantric, astrologers, and their likes began to visit her residence. And havans and other kinds of religious rites began to perform regularly. It was evident that she felt insecure, totally insecure, and sought assurance from these men and performed whatever rites they prescribed. At the same time, my friend, she felt that it would reduce the image as a forward-looking woman and stoutly denied having had anything to do with such people or carrying out such prescriptions. I had hoped that Rajiv Gandhi would not succumb to pressure from his superstition ridden advisors. And like his grandfather, he have nothing to do with these archaic practices. They don't fit a man who promises to lead us into the 21st century, not at all. But it continues to amaze me how men and women otherwise, with high intelligence quotients, many, some I remember like Nana Falkiwala, a great disciple of Sai Baba, he continued to indulge in sadhu worship and believed in a great deal in astrology. However futile the blessing they receive and however wrong the predictions may prove to be, nothing seems to shake their faith in this irrational. I have met far too many holy men because I just want to know, do they really have some kind of a power? In any community, from all religion, I make sure that I go and meet them and spend some time. I've been talking about them for very long, sharing my views. Some of the holy men become quite friendly to me. I don't want to name them, there are far too many people I have spoken about earlier. And they are even today, who are alive, kicking, doing great business, I would say. And I continue to enjoy their affection of them. I somehow feel that I have come to, and in fact I have come to a firm conclusion that gurus, godmen, priests, they are meant for people who are unsure of themselves, troubled in mind, and faced with problems. They are not confident of themselves. They are insecure people. They want to know the future before they step into any adventure. And they're troubled in mind and faced with problems which they are unable to solve on their own effort and by their own wisdom. The questions come straight away. Why these gurus flourish in India more than in any other country? It has been so beautifully explained by an author, Peter Brunt. I had spoken about him earlier in his very classical study of the subject, God Men of India. You all must read this book, God Men of India by Peter Brunt. He writes in his book many things, but something he said: in the West, we are free to work for approval of those we love and respect. But this is not so in India. For Indians of the middle class, there are only two directions they can go to prove that they can love and be loved. According to Brunt, Indians cultivate relations with gurus because they have a tradition inhibitions against mingling of sexes and the tyranny of fathers. The young Indian's male may not indulge in love or even look at girls of his own class, but can form the most passionate friendship and express it with caresses with his guru. Furthermore, my friends, the guru-disciple relationship is in some ways an ideal version of that which should exist between father and son. But it does not happen this way. The guru, though the father figure is the rescuer from the real father's dominance. He is the father who has been chosen. In this way, the disciple remains free in his bondage, bound, bound in his freedom, and nothing more, nothing less. Thank you very much.